race through the meadow, chasing UFOs, craving to get home. The rain and pebbles, sprayed and speckled, my face and freckles. Embracing the tempo, the bass in my headphones, shaking my neck bone. The way it crescendo made me just let go. It's crazy, I guess so. I think it's funny that we live our last 30 years trying to get the first 20 back. I just want them to love me, but all they want from me is to tell them where the money at. I'm out of place, no more pouty face. I can't stay here, I take my chance in outer space. What I need is simply something the world can't give me. Up, up, away I go. Up, away. What I need is simply something the world can't give me. Up, away I go. Up, away. Shooting for the moon, even if it makes me lonely as a tune. I gave in once and it threw me in the gloom. Wanna fly away, so I blew me a balloon. Wanna shoot it down, I don't care, you could try. Spend all day swatting arrows at the sky. Wiggle one finger and I stare him in the eyes. Crazy as a disc, but I'm wearing it with pride. Gotta be me, can't bury it inside. If it means beef, then I'm pairing it with fries. You can hide your soul in a pyramid of lies, but you can't repair it when it dies. If that sounds arrogant, then fine. Better than a life of paranoia, cause I'm scared of what's behind. Stuck doing math, always carrying the 9. Because I know it's coming, how American am I? What I need is simply something the world can't give me. Up, away I go. Up, away. What I need is simply something the world can't give me. Up, away I go. Up, away. Up, away I go. Up, away.
Good afternoon. What's going on, people? So, KDA, that was not surprising. Not surprising. I just saw the news today in my Discord because I once again haven't been keeping up with KDA for the past couple of months. So I really hope there's nobody out there that got severely burnt on it. I've been really open and honest on when I started with KDA, you know, kind of what my ideology was behind it. It was super high risk reward. So with the super high risk reward, you don't have to go throw hundreds of thousands of dollars at it. So hopefully you did not do that. A couple $100, maybe $1,000. That could have been nice. But back when we first started on KDA, was back, let's see. When I started to leverage trade it, that was right off of this pop-off. We took this ABC long position. Looked like it was going to land, but then unfortunately fell back over. So yeah, KDA is dead in the water. And for the past couple of months, I've been saying that I don't think this bull market has much juice left in it. And KDA is not a coin that it can carry itself. It needs a bull market. So as soon as I really felt that, I stopped trading it. Don't really have any on spot. It wasn't a big loss for me. So unfortunately, just one of those things. It's called risk to reward. Remember that. Now, there's never a sure thing. It would have been very nice if it worked out. Absolutely, but it didn't. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin. Last time we were talking about Bitcoin, we were just putting in the higher high off of the smaller time frame ABC right here. And we mentioned, hey, you know, we could go back up and retest the high and possibly put in a larger ABC structure, which we did, and I did take advantage of. It's not a big short on my position, but I am in this position going forward. And as of right now, there's nothing. We do have local low support, which if you're a bull, you're hoping to God that we find support either here or at 98,000. But me personally, I you know, we could possibly bounce here, do a slight retest, but I still think we're heading back down. I think the bull market's out. I think we're going to have to go down and retest. Now, with that being said, it's not doom and gloom. If the last bear market showed us anything, it's that people aren't really buying the same old, same old. People are very confident in Bitcoin. So when we're on our downtrend, people are buying it up. So although what I see as a potential maximum for the bear market, which would probably be somewhere around 50,000, maybe a very slight dip. Now, obviously on a macro scale, that might be 2 weeks or so, down into like the 37K region. Like that's kind of like the maximum I see for a bear market. But people are very confident in Bitcoin. So who's to say that we can't bottom out around 74? And maybe, you know, instead of coming down to 37 as our maximum, we have a slight dip down into the 55s and then slowly recover back up to 74. Who knows? I'm playing it by ear. Obviously, when the structures are made, the structures are made. And, yeah. I don't have a whole lot of time today. I do have to get going at 2 o'clock here. But Crypto Junkie said, "Rip Cadena." Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, if you traded it like a pattern, there would have been some opportunity. But yeah, I liked it, man. I had a lot of transactions through Cadena, and it was super quick. I thought the way that they did their mining system was pretty cool. It's just unfortunate. Like, it got started super, super late last bull market, so it didn't have like a lot. It had plenty of time to build value. Obviously, shooting all the way up to $30 is plenty, but it didn't have a lot of time to like get into people's brains, you know. So that way, the next bull market, people were looking at it. We were just either one of the lucky or unlucky few that knew about Cadena, knew about its potential. It's just unfortunate that this wasn't the bull market that we were hoping for. And that's okay. All right. It's one thing to have an expectation. It's one thing to have, you know, an absolute sentiment on the way things need to go. It just didn't go the way that we needed to go, at least for an altcoin. I thought the Bitcoin bull market this time around was beautiful. I think it was the best bull market we've ever had, hands down. And people are going to scream and piss because it's not 7,000%. Well, I tell you what, this is the type of bull market that I don't think I'm afraid of us crashing down to zero on Bitcoin. All right, now with the way KDA went, that's different. But with Bitcoin, we have plenty of amazing support regions that, you know, if we come back down, I think we will hold really, really steadily. You know, over here, you know, we had these slips where price was just able to go straight back down. And yeah, we got a little bit of that here, but these are huge local lows, and we have 2 of them to work with instead of just 1, and then we just fall flat down. I'm fairly excited. All right. I think the bottom is going to be fairly easy to catch this time around. So, if anything, just DCA if you're not comfortable trying to enter in at these local lows. Nebula, sub buddy, long time for me. How you been? Been doing good. Lost I don't know if it's been that long, but I lost my mom in 2024 on July 12th, and it was a rough year. And after that, I just was getting slammed over and over again. I was getting slammed by state, federal, local government, a lot of taxes. And we had a little bit of a little thing in the Discord this morning. It's only happened twice, ever, in the history of the Discord, where somebody kind of like acts out. And I get it. Trading is a very heated and emotional thing for some people. It was for me, and sometimes still is. But and I've kind of learned how to discern that some people, they need a punching bag. So today, unfortunately, I was the punching bag for somebody. He's been part of my group for a very long period of time. He's probably seen me go through many struggles and many great trades. So, I feel bad for him, but he was basically just calling me trash, saying that, like, it's basically like shaming me for having to work. And trust me, do I want... Well, that's a little bit of a mixed bag. Do I want to work? No. Like, I would rather play video games all day, but I know for me personally, just the way my brain works, I need some sort of social pressure. One, I physically fall apart. Two, I can start to mentally fall apart. So, I still do DoorDash, but I did get a job at a fancy restaurant named Firebirds. If you live in Richmond, you can come visit me, I guess. You'll know where I'd be. Don't bring a gun. All right. If I don't bring guns. All right. But yeah. So I told him in the message, like, I don't want to like be mean to him. I don't want to like make fun of him, because maybe he's lost some money. We've all lost money, and that's okay. But yeah, I just let him know, like, my problem was not making the money. I made money to the point where it felt like it grew on trees, and that was the issue. One, I didn't do my due diligence and do my taxes appropriately, and because that money felt like it was infinite, I spent it on everything. I spent it on fancy vacations and paid for people. I gave people 5-figure loans. I bought fancy cars that I didn't need, multiple fancy cars that I didn't need. Just 1,000 different things. You can be surprised how fast money goes. And sometimes it feels like I have nothing to show for it sometimes. So yeah, I was a dumb kid. I made mistakes. But I know what I'm doing. And I'm glad I made those mistakes early, because by working hard, which is no shame to do so, by working hard, I'm going to get back to where I was. So for the person who made that message, all right, we can reconvene later on. You said, why do you work if you have loads of money? I don't have loads of money. I have a nice nest egg, and I did have loads of money, but like I just said, I kind of wrecked myself. Not trading. I wrecked myself, U.S. government. That's how I wrecked myself. Interest on multiple different taxes. Just, like I said, I burnt it. Being a dumb kid. It's a typical thing that happens, and I wish I didn't do it, but... And do I regret everything? No. I regret the cars. I regret, just... I'd probably bought like 5 pairs of AirPods. Like, it's little things like that added up. Where like I would lose stuff, or I don't know. So, yeah. Yeah. I have to work hard to make sure that I get back to where I was. That's all it was. So to the people that think that working DoorDash or any other job is like shameful, God, I wish I could say some slurs right now. Not the bad ones, but you're an absolute idiot. And it just shows what kind of person you are. That's all. Do you load up on spot during the bear market? Absolutely. So, traditionally, like if you're just a regular person, you're just going to be buying $10, $15 a day or a week, whichever one suits you best. Now, if you're trading, you can look at the chart, you can look at the local lows, and you can target those to insert larger amounts of capital at more particular points. So those points for me are definitely going to be 75,000, roughly around 53K. It's more like an average with that. So I'm going to probably shoot for somewhere around 54, 53K, and then 39,000. Those are the three numbers that if we do see them, larger amounts of capital are going to be put into that. Now, like I said, for me, I'm a bit strapped. I like the way it is right now. Like, I'm a single guy, and my only child is fish, okay? And my bills are like close to like $5,000 a month. It's ridiculous. And then most of that's just taxes. I owe more taxes than probably some people make in like 2 years. It's ridiculous. So it's a bit aggravating. And I do have, like, I did my budget, I did everything to the point where, like, I think if I work incredibly hard for like 2 years, everything's going to be to a point where I can start aggressively putting money back into the market and build it back up to where it was. Of course, am I going to have like the windfall of like those crazy bull markets again? Who knows? But I have confidence in myself. I have confidence in what and how I trade. So it's just a matter of time. It's just about compounding. So yeah, but it really does suck because, you know, like it's one of those things where it's like, I can't go, you know, I can't go date. I can't go start a family because by myself, I am like just making it. It's ridiculous how you, well, I've made it ridiculous on myself. If I had no debt, no tax bills, no nothing, I would be chilling right now. And that's what sucks to say is like, I know the economy's in a bad shape for some people, but like if I really did my budget and everything like that, I'm chilling if I can get rid of all that debt. So I know it's different depending on where you live, but and I've been having a good time at my new job. It's gonna be, the tips are very nice. So I got a good hourly wage, at least for my state, and then the tips, I'm usually making like, hopefully, well, right now we're still opening, so they're not letting a whole lot of orders come through, but I told them like, just let it rip. I'll take care of it. Let it rip. I'm hoping I can make like, you know, $150 in a night just on tips alone. So I felt the same exact way. I needed a side gig to have some type of schedule to my life. Trying to dunk on you for having a job just sounded a bit, yeah, it was a little bit weird. I mean, the only other person that's like been aggressive, that's one thing I really liked about the Discord and just the community in general. Like, generally, people are nice. The last time we had someone like that, and you probably remember, it was the dude that was like, why are you sending notifications at 2 a.m.? I'm trying to sleep. And I'm like, you signed up to be a trader. You don't think there's ever going to be a trade at 2 a.m.? Ever? Sorry, I let you know. My bad. I'll return to your sleep. And he got pissed. He was angry. He was super angry. To the point where I never want to kick somebody from the Discord. Okay? A lot of people know that. So for me to kick him, he was being very hostile. Could you do a quick analysis of the smaller time frames, such as the 4 hour to 1 hour? Sure. Yeah. So I mean, it's very choppy at the moment. There's nothing special for me to say that I haven't already said. I do think there could be a momentary retest of the upside. All right, especially with the local low support here. at 107. Now, this was a little bit of an overreaction in the market, but you can see we've kind of stabilized along that support level. Now, on the small time frames, if we really cut down here, we do have an A to a B to a C, which that entry point is at 111,712. But we're kind of trapped between 2 points. We have a strong support here, and then we have our newfound resistance high. So we probably would range a little bit here. Me personally, I wouldn't be surprised if we came back up and probably retested like 116, maybe even like 118. And by doing so, we would actually put in an A to a B to a C, which would become, hopefully, our B wave for the continuation to the downside. Now, we could obviously find support here and go for another larger retest. But more than likely, we probably are going to slip down to our next local low support at about 98,000. And then from there, probably just repeat the process all the way down. I'm sure 98,000 might be the last. Oh, that's my computer. I thought that was my phone alarm. Like very faint in the background, I'm hearing the music. Okay. But yeah, I think 98,000. We might see one more retest to the upside, but that's going to be our breaking barrier. Just like how in the previous bull to bear market, we kind of had that moment where we were chilling and just kind of vibing on this line, and we broke through, and we have a major drop. That's probably going to be our point. So 98,000 from there, probably. I would assume a direct drop down to 74. 74, I don't think is going to break immediately. If it does, I'll be very surprised. But 74, definitely another retest to the upside. Probably a pretty decently sized one, if I would guess. I think we have the potential to go from 74 all the way back up to, the upper 100s. I don't think it's going to be successful. I don't think we're gonna push from there, but that's going to be another possible good trade position to be in. And then from there, I think we're going to be slowly and steadily on our way down to the 50Ks. Like I said, there's potential where we don't have to come down to 50K because the buying pressure is very high on Bitcoin throughout this cycle. So I do think the retest is necessary, and I don't think we have enough juice to continue, but yeah. To short at 111K? Nice, man. So I was doing my group therapy, and by group therapy I mean it's me alone in a car. All right, for dudes that's usually how it goes. And I was trying to like dissect why I am so inconsistent with streaming. So I'm ADHD, so I have poor executive function and impulse control. Obviously, in the process of getting medicated, I had a prescription, didn't have a prescription, have a prescription, didn't have a prescription. But one of the things that helps someone with ADHD is pressure, whether that's a deadline, a consequence, or like a social pressure. So one of the things that helped me probably excel the way that I did in the beginning with trading is simply just having a job. Doesn't matter what it was. Now, it needs to be a particular job with people involved. DoorDash, that job requires a severe amount of executive function. I know people look down upon it, but if you want to pay your bills with like rideshare, DoorDash, and stuff like that, you need to be a hustler. Like it takes a certain type of person to get up an hour earlier and stay out an hour later. Um, so it might not be the most glamorous job, but it's commendable for the people that do it consistently. But I need a job where, like, if I don't show up, not only am I going to get some sort of like angry phone call from a boss, it's not about the boss. I can give a fuck about the boss. What gets me is I have a conscience. If I don't show up and, you know, it's a very busy day, I'm making the job of pretty much everybody else there significantly harder by not being there. And that makes me feel bad. So, like, because of that, I am always on time, you know, everything like that. And it helps me mentally. So I think that's what happened with YouTube in general. In the beginning, I was learning along with everybody else, and I was helping people learn what needed to be learned through my mistakes. And it seemed like every single time I came on a live stream, there was always somebody that needed it. And I understand that still is the case. But it seems like nowadays, especially that the community has shrank, because obviously the people that were just in it for the bull market and like the gambling are kind of out, hopefully. It seems like every single time I, you know, miss a week or something like that, and I'm a little bit late to the party, it seems like everybody's always got exactly what they need. And to me, I love that feeling, but at the same time, it doesn't put that same social pressure on me to show up. Because I feel like if I don't show up now, I'm going to see the profit posted in the chat from the same position that I would have taken anyways. And that's really cool to me. But at the same time, it doesn't like, you know, push me into gear to like show up. Now, obviously, like, you know, if I see like a major trade coming up, I'm going to try my damnedest to be here. But like I said, I mean, I have so much other shit going on personally, you know, like mentally as well. You know, it's been a rough time, but you know, I have to push through it, and I have to get these dumbass debts taken care of if I do want to have some sort of nice future. You know, just one of those unfortunate things. So yeah, there's always going to be somebody on the internet that has no fucking clue what's going on with me or anybody else, and they're up their own ass, and they're going to criticize people. This is how it works. So, for those people, I hope you figure it out, whatever it is. So, but yeah, I don't want anybody else to feel like I'm purposely ignoring them. It's just how my brain works. I'm really bad with messaging. My friends can tell you that. All right. Best friends will tell you, yeah, he sucks at responding. So if you have to message me twice for anything, don't feel bad. It's not you. It's me. All right. I know this sounds like a shitty breakup, but it's not. All right. It's just me trying to be more vulnerable and let you know what's happening so that you don't feel like it's just a one-way street. Said smart to make those. Yeah, I mean, it's not smart to make the mistakes. It's lucky to have them happen at such a young age, and then obviously it's smart to dissect them and make sure that they don't happen again. But I wouldn't like tell anybody, yeah, go make the mistakes, because this is a mistake that does suck. It's not a very simple thing. Luckily, no jail time though. Hey, give it up for no jail time. We love that. There's still time though. There's still plenty of time. The market is kind of boring for the most part. Yeah, I mean, it's boring, but I think that's what it needs, you know? Yeah. I mean, I look at this chart and I look at all the previous trades that we've had this year. How many fortunate opportunities there were if you were patient. Yeah, if you were like a little crackhead on the on the 2 minute chart, this might have not been the most fun time for you. But if you were playing on the larger time frames and being patient and taking those trades and taking the hedges, this was one of the most beautiful bull markets I've ever seen. I always wonder why people who have a profitable trading strategy sell a course. Well, not every person has a profitable trading strategy that sells a course, but it really just comes down to money. Like if you can make money from multiple avenues, why not do it? So do I, like say for example, CryptoFace. All right, we all know how I feel about him, but you know, do I think that it's a trading strategy he's selling? No, he's just selling you a shovel. All right, he's really not teaching you how to use the shovel that great. But it's up to you. You know, you can take a look at it, see if it's for you. Do I feel like he's a terrible person for having multiple revenue streams? No. But I do think there's an honest way to do it and there's a dishonest way to do it. And it's really just in the eye of the person who's buying that course to really discern whether or not they want that. That's why when I did my courses, all the videos and the live streams, those were free. If you wanted a course, it wasn't a course. It was you spending time with me. All right. Now, obviously, like, did it get very busy for a while and I, had to kind of shun some people away from it? Yeah, because I just didn't have the time. But if to me, that was the only logical way to do it. That way I felt like the people that were paying the money, it felt justified. If I just sold you a cookie cutter video with a price tag on it, that doesn't feel good to me. No. Guy Knight, I'm so sorry, man. I know it sucks. Is there any advice that helped you? Shitty answer is no. There's no amount of advice that can help you emotionally get over something like that. Luckily, I spent a lot of time driving back and forth from places. So I just talk. Whether it's, pretending that she's a ghost or in heaven or sitting in the chair beside me, or I'm talking to her on the phone. I'm very sorry. Now, to prevent myself from crying, I'm going to go on a tangent about another crypto scam. So, James Holt, you have courses, and I think the other top contender for like shittiness is probably a combination of the prop firms themselves and the YouTubers that like fully promote them. I think people like YouTubers that promote prop firms are worse than people that just sell courses. Because for me, like, I feel like with a course, hopefully not, they're not selling you an ideology of like, oh, you're going to make so much money lightning quick. But with a prop firm, that's kind of the idea that they're selling you. Hey, you can get leverage up to your tits if you just pass this test. You can make, you know, 10. Some of them are like, you'll get a 90% profit cut of a $100,000 trade. In what world? If I gave you that much money to work with, you know how much you're getting? A single digit percent. All right? That's how much you're getting. All right? If I'm fronting you that much money, like, yeah, if you pass like multiple tests and everything like that, and you show me you can do it, yeah, I'll give you the money. But you're getting like a decimal point. All right? You're not getting 90% of the profit made. In what world is that? It is no. Like that is so stupid to even logically think about and say, yeah, that's how that works. So James, the prop firms are a common thing in Forex, crypto, stuff like that. Essentially, it's a company that says, hey, we would like you to be one of our traders. But before you do so, please pay us $100 in order to take a test. And they'll kind of disguise like the $100 is, you know, kind of like insurance for us. You know, if you lose, we know at least we keep something. When in reality, they're not losing anything at all. It's all off the books. It's not real trades. And they'll claim and claim and claim that they're real trades. And no. If it's real trades, it is going to be so restricted. And you're going to need 1,000 different licenses. All right. And you're going to need to put in social security numbers, everything like that. You're going to need to be liable for this money. But these prop firms, some of them, you just need an email. All right. And they essentially say that if you pass this test, which it's designed for you not to pass, but some people do, despite all that, they'll give you access to a certain allocated amount of money that you can trade with. And they claim that you can make 50% of the profit that you make from those trades, blah, blah, blah. It's not real money. And they're making their money off of the people that have hopes and dreams that don't pass the test. And then the money that you do make from a prop firm on trades that aren't real, all of that money is coming from the people that failed the test. It's a big pyramid scheme, pretty much. As long as people are signing up and attempting the test and failing, they continue to make money. And the small percentage of people that were able to get through the test, they can make some money. But if you do get into a prop firm, and let's say you make $40,000, they're going to close your account with no explanation. And they might send you $500 as a, hey, sorry, but we don't want your business. So, prop firms are evil. All right. The only real prop firms that exist are like legitimate trading companies where you have a desk, they hand you a pink slip with tips and calls on them, and you have a very, very specified way to trade that they have tried and tested, and you have 1,000 tax forms and liability forms that if you go AWOL and just start trading something willy-nilly and lose all that money, you're on the hook for it. That's a real prop firm. But these internet ones, they're, I guess you could say, if you 100% understand what you're doing and that it's all fake and you're okay with people getting destroyed on the entry fees and you really think that you can pass it and you're not shooting for anything high, you're not saying I want to make $100,000, you're like, I just want to make $2,000 from it and be done. You probably could. But hey, it's just better not to get started because it's just going to end Either one, you taking a test 10 times only to pass it and then get kicked out of the program later because you went above your max drawdown. It's, yeah. Do gotta get going here in about 15 minutes. I gotta be in the door to work at 3:45. I still gotta iron my shirt, take a shower, all that stuff. I've been using Modoxanil on my hair for like the last month. You know, I'm getting self-conscious about it, man. You know, we're getting closer to 30. So maybe, you know, a little bit of self-care can go a long way. That way I don't end up like my uncles. But yeah. So I've been using Modoxanil. I haven't got like any legitimate prescriptions for anything. So just 5% Modoxanil, the Walgreens generic version. And I've been using ketoconazole. It's like an antifungal shampoo, but it lowers the DHF. Is that what it is? It's a chemical that shrinks your hair follicles. But yeah, I mean, I looked up online, and those two things combined, which those are only the real options for hair growth that are non-prescribed. You have Fin, Dut, and Modoxanil oral form, but I don't need any of that. How much risk percentage do you take on ABC trades? On my main account, it's usually 1% or less. On any accounts that are like small dollars, so, you know, $500 or less, $1,000, I can go up to like 3% comfortably, because to me, it's kind of fun money. And, you know, all things considering, I should technically be able to go a little bit higher than that, but I try to promote good risk. So even though the Kelly criterion, technically, I probably could, I just don't want to promote people using close to 8%. I'm using it too, because I'm getting scared. I don't want to go to Turkey. I mean, does the United States do hair transplants? I'm sure they're way more expensive, but I know there's a couple things that I need to start saving for the future. One, my left eye is starting to get floaters. So it started sometime in 2024. So I'm assuming that, you know, all the stress and crying from losing my mom probably put like a lot of pressure on my eyeball, and something went astray. It's nothing significant. Like, it's not like vision impairing, but like if I am like driving and it's like bright sunlight, I can usually see like there's like one that's like kind of like a string that like floats across my vision. And then there's one that's like a dot that floats across my vision. Let me see if I can find like a thing to show it people. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. So mine's not this severe. Well, I guess, yeah. So mine is not even close to this. It's like maybe two of these, but I'm very, so I have one that looks like this, not that big, maybe the size of this. And then I have one that's kind of like a line. So I looked up the surgery involved in breaking up those floaters and getting rid of them. It costs around like $4,000 without insurance. So that's something I have to say. So I mean, I'm doing everything in my power initially, to, you know, get healthier, to prevent any more from showing up. But if that doesn't work, well, I'm gonna have to go So gold, I mean, gold's been on a very strong uptrend for quite a while now. It's no surprise that we need to come back down and set in some support levels. If we're looking at the long-term chart here, we have a local low here at roughly 4,000, 3,946. We have another local low here at roughly 3,820. One here at 3,700 and one here at 3,600. Now, if we break through 3,600, it's going to be a little bit more of an aggressive drop, either, you know, back down to this recent high here. But we have plenty of support levels long term for gold. Did we put in a higher high here? No, it just looks like a double top. Would have been nice if we saw an ABC. Maybe? Oh my God. Barely. Okay, so we had the smallest ABC top on gold, which led to this current drop. And we really don't have any ABC long position here yet. You would hope that it would come back down, bounce, come back down for a retest, and then from there you can go. Yeah, I'm starting to notice a lot of aging things. So definitely trying to stick to the fasting. I haven't been like super aggressive with it. Now that I have like a consistent job, it will be a little bit easier for me because one, like obviously I can't eat while I'm working, and two, when I get home I'm just gonna be dead tired, so I'm gonna go to sleep. So right now my eating window, I expect to be between like 11:30 in the morning to about the time that I start work, so 3:45. And then past that point, it's nothing but like seltzer water. I think in the beginning, I'm probably still going to be doing like Coke Zero, which although I know still produces insulin, I just need to make small steps in the right direction in order to make sure that I get the results that I need. But yeah, I haven't noticed any results quite yet. I mean, I'm only like 1 month in with Modaxonil. I know the ketocortisol like is also anti-dandruff, which I've noticed like a significant reduction in that. Especially that I wear all black for work. Dandruff does not mix with all black. But yeah, hopefully in like a couple months, I have a little bit thicker hair. I don't think it's gonna work at all for my hairline. I don't have like a terrible hairline, but like we're getting there. We're getting there. We're chilling. Some people have a lot worse, so I'm gonna count my blessings here. Do I have a new Discord? No, it's always been the same Discord. It's through the Patreon. It's like $12 now or something like that. Some cheap. And if you sign up as a free member for the Patreon, eventually you should get some sort of like promo code for like a 50% off or something like that. You have a normal job? Yes, I do. On my off days, I'll go make, a couple bucks with DoorDash. And then I recently just got a job and finished my trading to be a restaurant server. Now, it's a fancier restaurant, so the pay is a lot higher. I used to work at Buffalo Wild Wings for like $7.25 an hour. And now I'm making like roughly like $20 an hour. So, huge pay increase. And I don't know, man. Like with an ADHD brain, there's something about restaurant environments that just, they're so much fun. And I don't know, I've always been good with people. So, I like that about it. So I use it on my hairline. So I've been using it like on the bottom of my chin here to try to fill in that. I'm not using it on my mustache because I don't really care about my mustache. Been using it on my eyebrows. I've been using it twice a day, as as directed. And yeah, hopefully I get some good results. God damn. Take a drink. Daniel, you said, do you just get bored? I feel like you're training. So, I mean, if you would have asked me that in 2022, when things were good, I had a lot of money in my bank. Even at that time, I was considering getting a job, and I should have gone through with it. What in the? Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Too much talking, I guess. But yeah, if you would have asked me in 2022 and I had a lot of money, if I would go back and talk to my younger self, I would tell him get the job. One, for my health. Okay. I was doing a lot of sitting. A lot of DoorDash. I wasn't doing things. I spent $60,000 on DoorDash. I went back and looked at everything like that. $60,000 roughly, probably a little bit more. But no, the reason why I have a job now is because I'm an idiot. I made an ungodly amount of money during the 2021 bull market, and I didn't pay all of my taxes the way that I was supposed to. Those gained interests and penalties and all that stuff. So now I am paying for it. So I have a stupid amount of bills, and if I wanted to pay those bills through trading, I would need over $1 million just in a trading portfolio, which I don't have. So yeah, rather than constantly pulling money out of my trading portfolio, I just need to work, and I need to work hard. That way I can get this all over with in the next 2 years. And that way I can start putting money back into the market aggressively. And hopefully get to the point where I need to be, where I don't think I should retire. You know, like I had that ideology when I first started that like, oh, I made $400,000. Why do I need a minimum wage job? And the truth is I needed that job for like I said, my health and my mental health and just the social interaction. There's something about the way my brain works. Maybe I could have found something that better suited me, but I still think I needed a job. And that's one of the things I regret doing. So yeah, that was in the Discord today. This guy, he was basically saying like my trading system doesn't work, and my investment, which I had no investment, I had a leveraged long. I did have spot initially, but then once at the time L Bank offered KDA, at that point there's no reason for me to do that. One, I could make more money, and two, it would be less risk. So I had no spot KDA investment. Maybe like $100 or something like that, but like nothing crazy. And basically making fun of me that I was working DoorDash. And I just let him know, like, the same thing I said to you. Like, I made mistakes. And, you know, a part of me, as those mistakes were building, and I kind of realized what it was coming to, part of me was kind of like anxious about relaying that information on YouTube. I always kind of dropped hints like, hey, pay your taxes, as like a warning to people, because that's what screwed me. And obviously 1,000 other things. Spending that didn't make sense, stuff like that. because no matter how good things are going and how much money you have and how secure you feel, we're all human and you can do some dumb things with it. So I knew people would have that reaction, but honestly, don't give a shit anymore. I am who I am. I made the mistakes that I made. I know I'm damn good at trading, and it's only a matter of time before I blow those people away. So I hope they're there to share in that success. I never want someone to, I would like to prove someone wrong, but I don't want to see them fail either. So Rufio, I mean, if you're watching the live stream, I have no ill feelings towards you. I just hope that you reconsider your position on someone having a job. Because I'm sure, and I hope you have one too, and I hope you're doing very well with it. Simple as that. DF, he said, you ever check out prop firm? We just talked about prop firms. I'm not a fan of prop firms, not in the slightest. What's your opinion on a take profit zone for my 111K short on BTC? So are you playing it like super short term, or are you looking for something big? Because I mean, the way that I kind of work myself through the market now, it's all about hedging and only getting out if a new position becomes available. So, I mean, if you took a short at 111, we are at a local low. So technically right now would be kind of like your range, the bottom of your range. Unless you think that we're going to continue to the downside, because we could. We could go back down and retest 103K and form a little bit of a smaller ABC, like this, and then have a retest to the upside. So it's up to you. The way that I would probably play it, if I was working my way into the market, I'd take the short at 111K and I leave it, because you don't know that that we might break down further into the range, and then obviously you could take the long position as a hedge, and then you can start working your way through the market. What do you think will happen to crypto for the rest of the year? I think we're gonna have kind of like a mirrored image of the bull market, just to the downside. I think there's gonna be a lot of retests, a lot of consolidations, which I wholeheartedly welcome. I'm so sick and tired of these gigantic bursts to the upside and to the downside. Obviously, they're exciting, and I really do like seeing like the Discord chat light up when we get those moves. But do I think it's healthy? And do I think that I think the slower it actually maybe not. I was gonna say I think the slower that it moves, the less people get wrecked. But honestly, that might be the opposite. What are you doing? You just scratching the pillow. But yeah, I think we're gonna come down to like 75K, retest to the upside, consolidate for a little bit, maybe have a breakdown, retest, consolidate. But I do think the bottom is likely to be 75 or 52, more like 53. Like I said, there's the small off chance that we come down lower to like 39, but I think it's gonna be short lived. Now, short-lived on macro means like 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a month. But, we'll hang around that region and then we'll pump back above. Hopefully forming an ABC while we do so. But yeah. Daniel, you said, You saying this shows your character, makes me want to become a member, just on the aspect I learned about you through Market Cipher videos, which I use in combo with Ichimuku Cloud. It's been a long time since I've seen that on a chart. Yeah, I hope you're doing well with it, man. Like I said, it's you can take pretty much anything, whether it's an indicator, whether it's real-time chart strategy, as long as you're doing the math correctly and tracking those trades and figuring out like, hey, this is profitable, and here's the risk percentage range that I can use. Go for it. Doesn't matter what you use. To me, I think the best thing that can happen is simply being profitable. You don't have to be 10xing your account in a single move. Just, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. As long as you're doing that, you're killing it. I've openly admitted, I don't think ABCs are the most profitable. They're the most profitable for me, one, because it doesn't take a lot of mind power. I can look at a chart for 2 seconds and figure out what I need to do. Obviously, there's a little bit of estimation. If we have an A and a B, kind of pre-planning what I'm going to do and what level that C is going to be, stuff like that. But fact still stands. 2 seconds, I can look at a chart. And because of that, there's nothing complicated. I don't have to be on my phone looking at 5 different indicators, which is incredibly hard. So from my phone, I can make the same trades. And if I miss an entry by a little bit, I'm not stressing. Does it suck that I don't have the safety net of a support or resistance anymore? Yeah, but I still know the trade is kind of viable, so I can still take that trade. It allows me to do things that some other people might not be able to do. And because of that, I think I long term will be more profitable once I figure out all the other bullshit. But yeah, 5 more minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Like I said, gotta go iron my shirt and get my pants out of the dryer. I need new shoes. Dude, I woke up this morning and my feet hurt so bad. Because I got these $20, $25 shoes from Walmart called the Tread Safe brand. And those things are hard as bricks. So I was looking at Ortho. I was looking at these shoes. And these look pretty nice. So I think I'm gonna pick these up pretty soon. A little $15 off coupon, hell yeah. But yeah, I need something that's I can stand in for a very long period of time. Because there's nowhere to sit down at my job. At least not until later. Once everybody's kind of out of the building. They have to be dress shoes. They have to be polishable. At least slip resistant, which these don't explicitly say that they're slip resistant, but looking at the tread here, it looks like it. So as long as I'm careful, I think I'll be fine. But yeah. And I know you can just buy those insoles, but I never had a super good experience with those. But yeah, dude, dude, my heels, man, just hurt so bad. I always have an issue putting eye drops in my eye because I never know if I'm actually getting it in my eye or just on my eyelid. So I heard that you're not supposed to put it in the corner of your eye, but that's always how I've done it. I need to renew my contacts. These ones are getting a little bit dry. But yeah, hopefully everybody trades safe. And Yeah, I mean, hopefully you have the short position on Bitcoin kind of carrying you through here. It was right there for everybody to take. We had the ABC short at the top here. And I know I've said it before, but I really feel like this is it. You know, I was willing to admit that we would have one more retest here. I think those days are done. All right. I could definitely eat my words. I've done it before. But I think now we have officially begun the downtrend. So we'll see. Like I said, first stop, we should continue downwards slowly and retest 98. I think once we hit 98, we'll probably have a retest to the upside. From there, should be continuation down to 74, 74, another retest. We'll probably hang around the $74,000 region for quite a while. And then flash crash, more than likely, down to that 54K range. But yeah, I'll try to check in. I know, you know, it's one of those things, but I'll try. I'll try to stop in at least once a week or so. I know I said that before, but it is what it is. Like I said, life is life, but I do appreciate everybody. So, but all right, I'm gonna go ahead and head off. I appreciate everybody showing up and just chatting. Like I said, if you want to just come on the live stream and just chat, doesn't even have to be about specifically crypto. We just talk. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and pick a song and we'll head on out here. I did get all my songs from Spotify onto my YouTube Music, which is good. I missed a lot. There was a lot of these I forgot about that I'm glad I got back. Yeah, we'll play some Chris Webby. How about that? All right, guys. I appreciate you. And I'll see you whenever that next time is. If you guys are in the Discord, feel free to message me or at me. Like I said, I'm not great with replies, so if you have to message twice, do it. But all right. Let's do the thing, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
They can't stop me when I'm on my way. Yeah, I've been running from the demons. They can't stop me when I'm on my way. Yeah, still that same neurotic, psychotic, anxiety-ridden. You're wildly driven, guy with a vision that's finally getting another chance at his life to make some wiser decisions. And all these songs are therapy, it's like a diary written in all these syllables and rhymes through a myriad of lines. Plant a little seed of hope and I've been giving it some time. Still these demons lurk around just like some villains in my mind. Feel them slither, dripping venom down the ridges of my spine. All these hills I've yet to climb, always something that's attached. Hard to shoulder all this weight when you got monkeys on your back. And that monkey's a gorilla, better toughen up your lats while he tugging on your traps. Ain't no fucking coming back. Does a number on the muscular, carrying all the baggage and pushing through it mentally will turn you to a savage. So walk in my shoes, see it all through my glasses, and say a prayer that God will grant me safe passage. But nowadays it seems like no one's optimistic. I already see society as post-apocalyptic. As everybody's struggling, our demons have been doubling. As we sitting back just watching humanity crumbling. Feel like I'm in hell itself, chiseling my mental health, knowing I'ma pay for my mistakes using the devil's wealth. Try to keep some angels in my heart, they need some extra help. Shit, maybe I should get some help. I've been running from the demons. They can't stop me when I'm on my way. Yeah, I've been running from the demons. They can't stop me when I'm on my way. grant me the serenity. I'm in a search for better remedies, trying to find some light to conquer this dark energy. Devil on my shoulder, he trying to spark chemistry. It's an art form how I've lasted through programming that hit the masses. Good and evil been clashing. I rose from the ashes, walked the devil's passage. My pops shot himself in the crib, that shit was tragic. Somehow I made it to cribs and Calabasas. Calculated my risk, got sticks under the mattress. The money don't lay, she's just an actress. About the money, I've been stabbed straight through the back from brothers part of my pack. The stress alone give you 2 heart attacks, and that's facts. Dark clouds cover the future like cataracts. The pain was such a common occurrence that I'd adapt. Until I made a change to the map. You gotta take responsibility for what you attract. Track marks cover arms of people I warned. The demons looking in my face like, yeah, you've been warned. So much needed reform, doubt I weathered the storm. Thank God I found some light through it. I've been reborn and I relish it. Even though sometimes I'm devilish. At being good and bad, I'm a specialist. And running from the truth is a theme that is overly relevant. The devil in the room is the elephant. I've been running from the demons.